What's up, everybody? It's your old pal Dave, and welcome to Good Fright Moon. On this episode, we're going to be doing 3 Good Frights. Essentially, I'm going to be picking scary scenes from 3 different horror movies. These are particularly scary scenes to me, spooky, spine-chilling, and have left some sort of lasting image in my mind. And with that intro out of the way, let's get into it. So our first Good Fright is a short film called Lights Out. They actually made this into a feature-length movie in 2016, but admittedly I have not seen it, and that's not the one we're talking about here. I saw this short film on YouTube in around 2014, and still to this day, sometimes I will have to leave the hall light on. Most of the times I'm fine. Most of the times I'm chill. Most of the times I'm not afraid of the dark. But if this scene happens to resurface in the old noggin, yeah, there's no shame in saying it. I'm leaving the lights on. I don't even want to mess around with whatever could be lurking in the dark. So this short film is only about 2.5 minutes long, but I dare say that in those 2.5 minutes, they achieved more than a lot of other horror films achieve in 2 hours. Now, there are a few good frights in this short film, but the one we're going to be talking about here is like right at the start, not even 20 seconds in. And with that, here is Good Fright number 1. So we have this chick getting ready for bed, putzing around, whatever, doing her thing. And when she turns the light off, boom, silhouette. What are you doing there? That is immediately spine-chilling. You don't need a noisy, loud jump scare. Simply the reveal of somebody standing in your hallway is terrifying enough. Now, I understand this is a movie and they're trying to achieve some certain things here, so I won't judge this lady's reaction too much. But if that were me, and I saw that silhouette standing there, I would have pissed my pants immediately and spazzed out like a cat seeing a cucumber. I guarantee I'm not remaining that cool and collected in that situation. So she flicks the light off and on a few more times. The silhouette just standing there like a creep. Gross. And then we get this. And again, this lady holds it together so much better than I would have. Poop would have joined the pee in my pants at that moment. 100%. Now, what's so effective about this fright for me is that they already got you, like right at the beginning, with the reveal of the silhouette. Regardless of whatever else happens next, I'm already very, very spooked out by that. And it's like, you know something else is coming, right? We've watched enough horror media to know that a jump scare is most likely coming here pretty soon. Like, is she gonna run down the hallway? She gonna pop out at the camera in your face? But no, they went about it very subtle and just had her show up much closer to the lady, facing away, still just standing there, naked, put some clothes on. The rest of this film is pretty tense as well, and the ending is... I don't know, you should let me know what you think about the ending in the comments. And if you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. I'll leave a link in the description. Okay, our next fright comes from a 2003 Korean horror film called A Tale of Two Sisters. And this is one of those ones that has a bunch of twists and turns in it, and a bunch of moments that make you kind of go, huh? What? Like, I've seen this movie multiple times, and I still don't really have a grasp on what's going on. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just dumb. The basic premise is these two sisters, Soo-mi and Soo-yeon, move back in with their father and their stepmom after Soo-mi is released from a mental hospital. And boy, it's just not working out. The girls and the stepmom do not get along, like, at all. And Pops is, well, let's just say he's checked out. Like, this man cannot be bothered by any of this. Anyway, more of a backstory is slowly revealed as the film goes on as to why there's so much bad blood. But we are not here for the plot. We are here for the scares. Which brings us to Good Fright number 2. So we start out with Soo-mi lying in bed doing a slow pan across the room until we get to the foot of the bed. And man, in horror films, beds are never a good place to be. And the foot of the bed? Pfft, forget about it. But maybe it'll be cool this time? Nope. Nope, it's definitely not good. It's bad. That is bad. We watch this lady awkwardly crawl across the floor, though she does seem to be kind of heading towards the exit, so maybe she'll just scooch on out of here? Oh, nope. Wait. Oh yeah, no, she's staying. She's staying. She then very eerily begins to walk towards Soo-mi and us, the viewer, before unnaturally gliding up onto the bed. And if I were a betting man, I'd wager that that there is a ghost. We get this very unsettling stare down, followed by some unsettling blood trickle and unsettling hand? Soo-mi wakes up. It was all a dream. Now this scene has a few tropes in it. The classic creepy lady with long hair covering her face. A few kind of unnecessary, oh look, it's fast, jump scares. But what really got me here was the initial part where her head kind of slowly starts peeking up at the foot of the bed. And her slow, janky crawl across the room to the point where she stops. Like she knows you're there. And we've all had that, oh shit, I've been caught feeling in the pit of our stomach before, and they do a great job of conveying that here. Also adding to the terror is that this looks a whole lot like sleep paralysis, as Soo-mi is pretty much stuck on her back the entire time, unable to move or scream or get out of that situation. No, I've only had sleep paralysis dreams a handful of times in my life, thank God, but they are awful. And this scene effectively drubs up those memories and makes me recall those nightmares, adding a little bit extra to that dreadful, helpless feeling. Also, come on, dreams. Why's it always gotta be the demon ladies? Huh? You're a dream. You could send anything you want my way. Let me cuddle with a snow leopard. And if it has to be demon ladies, at least let them be cool a little bit. Like, play video games with me? Or something. But no, they've always got to be wacky, spooky and creepy. Anyway, moving on. This next fright comes to us straight out of Australia in a film called Lake Mungo, which was released in 2008. Now, a few months ago, I randomly ran into a few reviews of this movie on YouTube, and all of these people were saying this was the scariest movie they had ever seen, which is a pretty lofty statement to throw out. So obviously, I was intrigued, and I checked it out. This movie is about a girl named Alice Palmer who drowns on a family trip, and how the different members of her family deal with the aftermath of her death. It's shot in a documentary style and has plenty of the creepy, spooky found footage elements thrown in. Now, these reviewers did mention that they didn't think that everybody would connect with this style of horror, and that it's a bit of a slow burn. And upon my first watch, that is absolutely how I felt. I did find it a little slow, but this movie crept up on me a little bit. I found myself thinking about it days, weeks, even months later. Like, scenes would keep popping up in my head. And it actually still kind of gives me like literal goosebumps right now just talking about it. The movie as a whole is generally unsettling, but there's one scene in particular that keeps popping up in my mind, and if I'm walking around alone at night, it'll flash in my mind and I'm kicking up my heels and my heart is racing. So I present to you Good Fright number 3. First, to set this up. So prior to her drowning, Alice went on a class trip to Lake Mungo. Jason, her boyfriend at the time, had taken a phone video of her seemingly burying something at the base of a tree. So trying to help out with the investigation, he shares this video with Alice's family. They go to Lake Mungo, find the tree from the video, dig, and end up finding Alice's phone. And this is the footage that they found on that phone. Now the image is quite blurry, reminiscent of the low-quality phone videos taken from that era, but you can tell she's just kind of walking around in the dark. This is intertwined with some footage and audio of her telling her psychic, Ray, that she's been having dreams about something coming for her, and that thing is getting closer. Then you slowly start to see a figure come into focus. And that's her. That's her dead face.
The body that I had identified at the dam. It was Ellie's body and Ellie's face.
I can hardly rewatch this part, to be honest. So first, the crap video really adds to the scare factor in this clip. It gives off big analog horror vibes. Like you can tell she's slowly walking up to something, but you can't really make out what that figure is. And it takes her getting like right up in its face to actually get a somewhat detailed picture of what it is. And it's her. Again, actual goosebumps. Then they juxtapose that with an image of her actual dead body, so you get a side-by-side comparison pretty much. And they even throw in that little glitch scare for added effect. There aren't really any jump scares in this movie, it's just unsettling, and then this part happens, and they get you. That you've just that little glitch, you're not expecting it, but it kind of jump scares the shit out of you. Again, I've seen this scene many times. It still creeps me the hell out. I also think including the audio of her talking to her psychic about feeling dread and that something was coming for her over top of the phone footage was a really nice touch.
I feel like something bad is going to happen to me. I feel like something bad has happened. It hasn't reached me yet, but it's on its way. And it's getting closer.
Now, is this the scariest movie I've ever watched? From beginning to end, maybe not, but it definitely has some parts in there that I could say are top tier. All right, and that'll wrap up this episode. I hope you're all just as thoroughly spooked as I am. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on these movies or these scenes in particular. And if you have any movie or scene recommendations, I'm always all ears. Thank you all so much for joining me, and until next time, have a good fright.